Unconscious and alone, Shen Yue found after overnight fall from balcony. Where was Dylan Wang? Fans were left stunned after Shen Yue was discovered motionless beneath a private hotel balcony where she and Dylan Wang were last seen together. The circumstances were mysterious. No one knew exactly what caused her fall. Dylan Wang was allegedly nowhere to be found at the moment of the incident, sparking widespread speculation, heartbreak, and online fury. Later, he appeared outside her hospital room looking broken and confused, but by then the damage had already ignited global backlash. Was he guilty of neglect? Was there something more? Or was Dylan Wang simply misunderstood? Now, as recovery begins and questions remain unanswered, a private confrontation between Shen Yue's family and Dylan Wang changes everything. Shen Yue's family reportedly confronted Dylan Wang after fall. What was said? The hospital halls were quiet. Reporters and fans had long been ushered away. But behind tightly closed doors on the 7th floor of a high-security medical facility, a storm was brewing. Days after Shen Yue was found unconscious at the foot of a balcony in what's now being described as one of the most haunting moments of the year, her family finally came face-to-face with Dylan Wang. What followed was a tense, emotional showdown that has sent shockwaves through those who were present. The unexpected arrival. Sources inside the hospital say Dylan Wang had been spending his days sitting quietly just outside Shen Yue's private room, hoping to be allowed in. His face, reportedly pale and drained, was unshaven and sunken. But no one from her family had spoken to him. Until that moment. Shortly after 2 p.m., Shen Yue's father and older brother arrived with a calm that witnesses described as too silent to trust. They did not speak to the press. They walked past hospital staff without a word. But the moment they saw Dylan Wang sitting near the hallway's end, the atmosphere changed completely. You were supposed to protect her. An eyewitness, a nurse working on that floor, said the tension in the air felt like a storm about to break loose. Shen Yue's father reportedly approached Dylan without raising his voice. You were supposed to protect her, he said. Dylan stood up immediately, trying to speak. But the brother interrupted. You left. That night. She called someone. It wasn't you. That single statement has since become a viral phrase repeated by fans worldwide. What did he mean by she called someone? And why didn't Dylan answer? The unanswered call. Multiple sources confirm that a call was made from Shen Yue's phone approximately 15 minutes before her fall. While the receiver of that call has not been officially confirmed, speculation suggests that Dylan Wang was the intended recipient but did not pick up. Dylan reportedly broke into tears and replied, I didn't see it. I swear. I was driving back. I had no idea what she was going through. His words shook the room. But Shen Yue's brother was unmoved. You always say you didn't know. But why was she crying for hours before that? That's when Shen Yue's mother, who had remained silent until then, quietly said, she still wants to see you. Inside her room, the most emotional moment. Later that day, after hours of waiting, Dylan was finally allowed inside Shen Yue's private room. Witnesses say the moment was overwhelming. She was awake but weak, her face pale, her arm wrapped in a soft cast. When Dylan stepped in, he froze. Shen Yue reportedly smiled faintly and whispered, Why didn't you come back sooner? And with that, Dylan collapsed to his knees, resting his head against the side of her hospital bed. I thought I lost you, he said. I thought I broke everything. Shen Yue responded with just one word, not yet. The family's final decision. Following the emotional reunion, Shen Yue's family reportedly had a long private meeting with Dylan. While no official statement was made, insiders claim the family gave Dylan one final condition: no more silence. If you want to stay in her life, protect her with truth. No more running. No more hiding behind PR teams, her father said. Dylan reportedly nodded, saying he was done playing safe and that he would tell the world what really happened. But what does that mean? An interview on the way. Insiders say Dylan Wang has agreed to sit for an exclusive tell-all interview once Shen Yue is fully discharged. The questions will not be soft. He reportedly asked to be grilled. I want them to know everything. Even the parts that make me look bad, he allegedly told his agency. Meanwhile, fans are split down the middle. Some are praising Dylan's return and vulnerability. Others still believe there's more he's hiding. But one thing is clear, the confrontation with Shen Yue's family forced a truth to rise to the surface. The future of Dylan and Shen Yue. For now, both stars are expected to take a break from filming. Shen Yue's management team has cancelled all her upcoming appearances. Dylan's next drama project has been paused indefinitely. But behind the scenes, something is slowly rebuilding. Not just between the two of them, but between their families as well. In one final moment caught by an insider, Shen Yue's father was seen placing a hand on Dylan Wang's shoulder before leaving the hospital. "You're still here," he said. "That's something." And sometimes, in a world full of noise and misunderstandings, just being there is the first step back to peace. The truth Dylan Wang did not expect to hear. Shen Yue breaks her silence, but not in the way he hoped. Just when fans thought the storm was settling, a sudden wave of emotion and mystery has taken the internet by fire again. Shen Yue has spoken. But the words that came from her, soft and barely whispered inside her private hospital room, were not the apology or confession some expected. They were a mirror, turning everything Dylan Wang believed upside down. The letter on her pillow. It began the morning after their quiet reunion. Shen Yue had barely slept. Nurses said she stayed up looking out the window, writing something in a small blue notebook. No one knew what it was until she placed it on her pillow just as Dylan stepped in to see her again. He smiled, thinking it was a love letter or a note of forgiveness. But the moment he began to read, his smile slowly disappeared. Insiders say the letter contained a truth Shen Yue had hidden even from herself, that her fall had less to do with Dylan leaving her side, and more to do with what she discovered in his absence. A phone she should not have touched. In the note, Shen Yue revealed something few knew. The night before her fall, she had accidentally discovered messages on Dylan's second phone. She had never gone through his things before. But something about that night, the silence, the arguments, the distant look in his eyes, made her curious. And then she found it. The messages were not romantic, nor were they flirty. But they were suspiciously close. Repeated late-night chats with a female crew member from a recent overseas shoot. They joked. They shared secrets. And one message stood out. "If I could turn back time, I would have met you first." That single sentence, Shen Yue admitted in the letter, shattered her. "I didn't know how to ask you if you meant it." When Dylan looked up from the letter, eyes wide and stunned, Shen Yue simply looked away. "I didn't fall because I wanted to," she said. "I stood out there because I didn't know whether to scream or to just disappear. I didn't even know you'd gone until it was too late." The room was silent. Then Dylan spoke. "I never sent that message," he said. "She sent it. And I never replied to it." But Shen Yue looked unconvinced. Confession or cover-up? This is where the confusion deepens. Dylan swore he had distanced himself from the other woman months ago. He claimed the phone was an old backup used only during international travels, and he forgot to delete old chats. But Shen Yue, emotional and exhausted, replied with something no one expected. "You always forget to delete the past," she said. "But it always finds me." It was not a breakup. It was not a rejection. But it was a message. She needed to heal, and not just physically. Family divided, fans exploding. Following this emotional encounter, Shen Yue's family is reportedly more divided than ever. Her brother has unfollowed Dylan Wang on all platforms. Meanwhile, Shen Yue's mother has been seen speaking privately with Dylan, fueling more questions than answers. Social media is on fire. Fans have begun using hashtags like #LetShenYueHeal, #WhatDidDylanDo, and #SecondPhoneScandal, while others still defend Dylan, calling him just misunderstood. One post even read, "She fell from a balcony. He fell from her trust. Which one hurts more?" Dylan's next move and Shen Yue's decision. Despite the chaos, Dylan Wang has not left the hospital. He remains nearby, hoping for clarity. Reports suggest he has handed over the second phone to investigators, not police, but a private media team preparing an exclusive to clear his name. He is ready, he says, to explain everything on camera. But Shen Yue? She may not join him. Sources say her management team is urging her to stay silent and focus on recovery, but Shen Yue herself may be preparing a quiet, private message to her fans, a video diary entry that tells her truth, in her words, when she's ready. Ending or a pause. For now, the two are no longer strangers. Dylan visits. Shen Yue listens. But the warmth between them, the sparkle fans once swore was real, now flickers with uncertainty. As Dylan said during one visit, "I never stopped loving you. I just didn't know how to prove it anymore." And Shen Yue's answer, "Then stop trying to prove it. Just start being the man I believed you were." Stay tuned. Because this is not the end. This is the silence before the next storm.